Rejection happens. Throughout the course of the day, rejection happens. And it's not in a blunt way most of the times where it says, you're rejected. It's in a way where you ask somebody for permission to do something, and it's kind of like they're a little bit like, just they make you feel a little bit uncomfortable and a little unsure of yourself, the way they kind of like either brush you off or just by the way they respond. Rejection happens in all settings, on creative personal sides, on business sides, in every area of your life. You're going to speak up to ask for some type of permission or approval, and somebody's going to respond to you in kind of a little bit of a sideways response. And you're going to want to crawl up in a ball because you're going to feel awkward, and you're going to feel like, oh no, and I feel, no matter how confident we are, we feel like that. It's okay. Do not play rejection over in your mind. You have to go forward. If there is something that you did that was a little bit disrespectful in the way you approached the situation, self-correct. Be humble enough to go forward in a manner where you constantly evaluate yourself to see if you can improve. But you have to balance that with being confident enough in being you. The reason that you're special is only when you are you. When you are your unique, creative, confident, self-assertive you. Not when you're your shy, timid, hiding under a rock. Man, can I do that? Can I do that? Nobody wants to give you permission when you ask like that. Plus, sometimes in life, you just got to do it. What the understanding is, sometimes in life, you have to self-correct and say, all right, I shouldn't have did it that way, and I apologize. I have to correct my behavior. Again, you have to balance that. But for those who seek wisdom, for those who seek self-growth, you'll figure that out, because the Holy Spirit lives inside you, okay? Now, if you're not religious, this is whatever you want to believe. But for me, I got to share my journey, right? This is what I believe. I believe that for the spiritual side of you, which is the creative, which is the unique side, which gives you, the confidence and boldness to be you, while being humble, because that's also a spiritual principle, humility, right? Okay? So if you can balance all those things, you cannot let that sideways response, that response of like, it was basically like you got rejected. You asked to do something and somebody responded to you, and they didn't say you're rejected, but they said something so sideways to you that they basically rejected you. Don't loop that conversation in your mind. Filter it for any self-correction, then let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Wisdom, self-growth is letting negative rejection go. Focus on going forward and letting the negative rejection conversation go. In one ear, out the other. While it's being filtered for any type of thing that you need to do that maybe you didn't need to do better next time. Ultimately, we have to focus on going forward. And the only way we can do that is if we let that sideways response, that response of rejection, we let that go. You are not going to be your creative self. You are not going to be able to sing. You are not going to be able to take pictures. You're not going to be able to do art. You are not going to be able to do business deals. You are not going to be able to propose new ideas at a conference room board meeting. You are not going to be able to ask your partner. You're not going to be able to ask a girl or a guy on a date. You're not going to be able to ask for the type of sex you want. All those things tie together, because all those different areas, creative, business, and personal, you're going to face rejection. And sometimes it may not be bluntly. Sometimes it may be a sideways comment. You have to filter that out to see if there's anything you got to do better next time, but you got to go forward. You can't replay negativity and expect to be the best creative you. Let that sideways response go, focus forward, and stay inspired.